And we'll get updated information about the power outages right now.
Yeah, we're joined now on the phone with Lara from CL&P to give us the very latest. Al, good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Where do the numbers stand right now in Connecticut?
We're at about 480,000 customers out. Really, just a drop of about 16,000 or so from a peak of a few hours ago. But it's in the first initial day of restoration. What we're seeing is we're trying to make repairs to fundamental structures in the grid. So you may not see whole towns get picked up right away.
We talked a lot yesterday about the substations, the one in Stamford that you were building some kind of barriers around, and then the one in Brantford where that type of building would be impossible. What's the status of those two substations this morning?
Yeah, that was actually really a remarkable effort trying to ensure reliability of the Stamford substation. We were able to build a 6-foot berm, or kind of a retaining wall made of concrete, of large concrete blocks, with the idea that it was being threatened by the high tide. Fortunately, though, it didn't really come to that. The tide didn't make impact with the substation. But given the nature of the threat at the time, it was a worthy endeavor.
That is good news. Al, of course, anyone without power, hopefully they're watching us now. We're streaming live on WTNH.com, or they can even watch on their smartphone. They, of course, are wondering that question, well, when will we see the power back on? We keep hearing talk about 40-mile-hour winds. That's when crews can go back out. Are we talking sustained winds at 40 miles per hour that they can go out, or just gusts of 40?
Well, there's concerns about gusts of 40s, but you have to understand it's actually up to the discretion of the crews, and they're professionals. They understand the nature of their equipment and their ability to be able to handle the weather. We think we'll be able to get a good amount of work in today, and we're already seeing that occur. We've already seen that occur overnight.
We talked with you earlier this morning, Al, and one of the things we want to let our viewers kind of hear about now is the work that went into getting ready for this next storm after the two massive storms last year. And you said at the time, a couple of hours ago, that it's tough to say anything definitive, but at least anecdotally, you believe that the work that was put into getting everybody prepared has paid off, or will pay off, over the coming days.
Yeah, I firmly believe that. You have to believe that once we were able to get the state on board and our communities on board, and really be able to be aggressive with our tree trimming, that was going to be a real factor in mitigating damage.
All right, Al, we want to give it to people straight today and let them know realistically, when can they expect the power to go back on? Of course, with those two storms, Irene and the big snowstorm, some people went as long as 10 days. What is the realistic outlook at this point?
Well, it really depends on the nature of the damage in your communities. Even though the damage is fairly widespread across the state, there are some towns that are particularly hard hit, and those towns, those customers can expect to be waiting for power to be restored for at least several days.
What are those towns that you're mentioning that are the most complicated right now?
Well, we're seeing heavy damage, and whole communities that are out, actually whole corridors of communities out, including Danbury, Greenwich, several towns actually out in the west side of the state, and also in the eastern Connecticut as well. These are towns where there are going to be complicated restorations. So there is the possibility that these restorations will take longer to complete.
All right. Lara, we appreciate you being with us. We know there is much work to do, and we know we'll be talking with you again over the hours and days to come as well.